DC and Jon Jones appear to be working things back up. And you know what? The world of MMA feels better when those two don't get along. The only part that doesn't feel right is when they started being chummy just for a minute there. They started like saying nice things to each other on social media and let bygones be bygones. That never felt right. It feels better when they're going at it. There is some feuds where you don't want them to make up. You just don't, even for nostalgia reasons, even just to look back. But that really is one. Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier could fight 10 times. It would not matter what the result of those matches were. All 10 times, everybody's going to stop what they're doing, be excited, and the arena's going to be full. It's just one of those things. And Daniel had come out and he was talking about Jon Jones. And he said that he cannot put Jon Jones on a pound-for-pound list because of all of the failed drug tests. And that there's a precedent set in other sports, baseball specifically, where you have the McGuires and the Bondses of the world, and they put an asterisk next to their name. And in all fairness, I don't believe Barry Bonds ever failed a test, and I don't believe McGuire ever did. It was well known what was happening, but I don't believe they failed a test. They still have an asterisk. Set that part of the story. Just making Daniel's point, which is there is a precedent set in other sports. In world and Olympic and NCAA competition, they will come back after the fact, test those samples up to 10 years later. And if they find something with the new procedures, they will strip you of your medal. And his simple argument was, if we're going to take our cues from other sports that have been here first, then it has to carry over this one, which means Jon doesn't get to go on the list. It's not all that complex of a statement. It's really not all that controversial of a statement by Daniel. It was a very simple and basic statement. I want to share with you that Daniel's opinion and the way he's going to look at this, he does have the right to his own opinion. Because he was the one in there with Jon Jones with a life work and a life's goal and a dream on the line in front of the world, wearing the short pants and having the mouthpiece in, and came up second against a guy who was dirty, not once, but twice. Who had a third fight, supposed to be the second fight, another fight scheduled for UFC 200 that got canceled for another failed drug test. So you have that. Jon Jones, of course, is going to fire back. And when Jon fired back, he said, I was proved innocent. Now, if this were me, literally, if this were me, and I used to have the record for failed drug tests, Jon Jones came and took that record away from me. But if it were me and I ever came out and told you guys that I was vindicated and ruled innocent, I would be doing what's called trolling. I would be making a statement so stupid and silly with a straight face to get you to react and be mad. When Jon does it, he's trying to be sincere. So Jon failed 3 drug tests, and this is off the top of my head. He gets popped for cocaine, he gets popped for steroids, and then he gets hit on this picogram business. So they looked into the picograms and they ruled that that was, yes, illegal what he had, but it was in an amount that was so small that therefore it does not matter. We are not going to rule on it. Okay, fine. That's the governing body. This is the decision they came to, but that is what happened. So Jon is trying to say that the picogram business, because that was ruled in his favor, he is therefore innocent, letting the other infractions go. Now, if I would have done that, I would have been working you. I would have been trolling you. I would have been checking my social media and refreshing it every 30 seconds, laughing to myself at you guys. Chael, how can you say that was for one of the infractions? What about the cocaine? And what about the steroids you got hit for? And I'd be sitting back acting like it never happened. What's funny with Jon is he's being sincere. He thinks the clearance of the picograms, right? He failed a drug test, but somehow a failure no longer became a failure. Okay, fine. I mean, right, we will adhere to the rules. We will fiercely adhere to the rules that we make up on the spot. Good with the whole thing. I got no problem with it. But there was 2 other tests. There was just 2 other tests. I can tell you as a parent, if you tell your kid, don't turn the light on. If he turns the light on and turns it right back off, or he turns the light on and he leaves it there for an hour, that's really not the point. You said not to turn the light on, he turned the light on, right? I mean, it's one of those things. There's going to be a disciplinary action now. And Jon Jones is kind of looking at like, I ordered pizza, I paid for the pizza, I ate all of the pizza, but you guys come here now and there's no pizza in the house. So it would appear that there's no pizza. But there was pizza and you ate the pizza. There's no pizza here now. Wait, what just happened? It's one of these things. So you can see where Daniel's not going to let that go, right? If Jon had just come clean as quickly as you can to whatever authoritative body you have overseeing sport, whole thing goes away. It's the very thing that got Lance Armstrong in so much trouble. Lance didn't do anything that all those other guys that won that didn't do as well. A lot of them popped, a lot of them hit, but Lance denied it forever. He just kept denying it. So it just kept going. $50 million and a decade later, it's just still going. It would have come clean. Right, I mean, you just see the difference. So that was kind of the thing with Jon. I think Daniel's going, look, Jon, you have done a number of good things since being clean. You are the champion of the world. Your fights are a hell of a lot closer and you're losing a lot more rounds now. But you're still the champ. Fresh slate, good run. However, we're going to take these other ones off the board. We can't use them. You were dirty. Caught again, caught a third time. You were dirty. Turn a new leaf and I wish you the best of luck. I think everybody could go home there and Jon could reclaim without argument his position in the sport. His position amongst the greats ever in the sport. There seems to be a frustration to let that happen until he comes clean, right? It's just one of these things. Perhaps it is true that the truth will set you free. And perhaps it's better for headlines when you're in the entertainment business to keep them guessing.